Fucking hell, it's been a minute, hasn't it? Welcome everybody. I am the air quotes comedian, a man who chose not to have an abortion actually, but I realised it was moot because it turned out to be a combination of gas and too much beer. And this is the Polemics. Welcome. But not you ladies, not now that you're legally second-class citizens according to US federal law. Where were you when you heard the announcement on June 24th, 2022? It was a doozy. An ancient pregnant tortoise was dug up by archaeologists in Pompeii. That was the big news. That's the story that everybody was talking about that infamous day. At least, I know it had something to do with pregnancy. The tortoise was dead, by the way, just in case you were thinking that they unburied a living pregnant tortoise. Let's try to stay on this side of reality, people. You can't bury a pregnant tortoise under millions of tons of hot ash and debris nearly 2,000 years ago and expect it to be okay. Tortoises are long-lived, but not as long-lived as that. Okay, forget the tortoise. I extended the tortoise bit a bit too much, and now the transition from that to the subject at hand is going to be really awkward. Pema Levy, writing for Mother Jones, said this: to justify overturning Roe versus Wade, the Conservative majority argues that abortion is not a right grounded in history. I told you it was an awkward transition. This has nothing to do with tortoises at all, not even tangentially. Because the right to abortion rested largely on the guarantees of the 14th Amendment, which was adopted in 1868. So-called Justice Alito notes in his majority opinion that the morality of the 1860s should be applied to pregnant people today. The good thing about using this quote is that I don't have to write a comic bit because Alito has already done the heavy lifting for me. I am, in fact, Alito's straight man. That's right, when he's clowning it up at the self-checkout aisle in the local Kroger, there I am, po-faced, doing my job as a straight man. I'd better be fucking straight too, because next up on the chopping block is gay marriage rights. I prefer what I read on the anarchist newsfeed. It's Going Down. It's Going Down had much more meaty stuff to say about the situation. According to them, anarcho-feminists, oh, I like that. I'm an anarcho-communist, and I can't say an anarcho-communist smoothly at all. It's like I have a mouthful of marbles, a numb tongue, and a traumatic brain injury. I can say an anarcho-feminist easily, though. I wish I was an anarcho-feminist, purely so that stating my political ideology rolls easily off of the tongue. I think the problem with saying I'm an anarcho-communist is that an. Not quite a glottal stop, is it? But it throws a spanner into smoothly enunciating anarcho-communist. According to them, anarcho-feminists, and I quote, "We don't vote, we riot." There was a banner saying, "Abort the fucking court," a sentiment I can get behind, as my initial reaction to the news that Roe versus Wade had been overturned was that me and my Second Amendment rights should go to the Supreme Court, and this section has been redacted as it violates the community standards of social media. What the hell happened there? What was that? Oh yeah, I forgot the public square is owned by private corporations who have carte blanche on what you're allowed to say or not. After the Supreme Court ruled to make being a woman a second-class citizen as a matter of federal law, Joe Biden said, "Roe is on the ballot come November." That's exactly how he said it because he's an extraordinarily old man. What's more is that he said it with a straight face. "I'm the straight man around here today, Joe. Cut it out." So, what the ever-loving fuck did democracy have to do with this decision? Let's examine it briefly. Multiple opinion polls have consistently shown that the majority of US residents favour reproductive rights and bodily autonomy for women. The government doesn't listen to opinion polls though, because if they did, then we'd have universal healthcare in this country and possibly free ice cream and puppies for all. The Supreme Court are made up of unelected officials. Yeah, there's not even the illusion of any democratic process going on there, just like there's not even the illusion of a beating heart in the Supreme Court itself. Unelected, unaccountable, holding the office for life and utterly contemptuous of the people's will. And here's Biden, a Catholic who has done fuck all to protect women's rights, asking for your vote in the midterms. Of course, as an anarchist, I don't vote because the system of representative democracy is a lie and a sham. Okay, I voted for the Communist Party when they were on the ballot, but mainly to troll them and the system itself, which regular viewers will already know, which means no fucker knows, and my secret is safe. We arrived here within this representative democracy, which doesn't represent the common folk, where women's rights can be there one day and gone the next. Then why would a person believe that a vote for Biden is going to make the slightest bit of difference? Biden is in power now and he's doing fuck all. But vote for his party in the midterms and maybe, perhaps, never will, they'll make it all better. You know what I mean? Vote for a cunt who's ineffectual now, but openly blackmails the electorate with promises of effectiveness later. Fuck off. It's like trying to spend your way out of capitalism. And what of the capitalist impulse? Is the great Satan burdened by this threat to its profits, or, as per usual, will it adapt and make money on the flip-flop, so to speak? I mean, a system that sells us anti-capitalist mugs and t-shirts and nodding communist dogs is going to be all right, folks. Some corporations, Disney, Sony, cunts like that, are offering all expense-paid flights for their employees who want abortions. They're only doing it because it's cheaper than maternity leave, but still, it's a lifeline to some, I guess. I am somewhat conflicted by the ruling. On the one hand, I am against a centralised administration such as that which pertains to the federal. But, on the other hand, sending the issues to the US states is probably not the best idea in the world. I mean, some of these cunts want to bring back slavery. As it was, I mean, not how it is right now. You know, how the whole 13th Amendment just changed the conditions of slavery a little bit without actually abolishing it. Pundits on the right are touting the fact that the issue of women's rights are back with individual states, half of which have triggered laws to outlaw abortion immediately on a state level. Oh, was there supposed to be some democratic process there? Yeah, no. We don't live in a democracy. Vote for who you want, but it won't change anything. Actions change things, and voting is simply a sign of passivity and compliance with the state. I don't particularly want to leave you on a sour note, dear viewer, so here, in brief, is what the anarchists are doing about it, according to It's Going Down at least. Anarchists advocate expanding grassroots infrastructure and self-organisation to gain the knowledge and skills necessary to perform their own reproductive care. Because, folks, that's what anarchists do. We don't sit around twiddling our thumbs, waiting for an election day that will do precisely fuck all but further the interests of the elite no matter what party you vote for. Well, when I say we, obviously I mean other anarchists, because all I do is bitch about things on the social media to an audience of 0 people. It's almost like I'm doing less than nothing when you think about it, which is about what happens when you fucking vote. Another thing anarchists are doing is fighting the fuck back on the street level. Jane's Revenge, which I learned is not Perry Farrell's new industrial dub techno band, Jane's Revenge is tearing shit up, which I fully condone. I prefer non-violent means personally, but, as Melatesta argued, self-defense is morally justified. That's it for this episode of the Polemics. Don't forget to hit the dislike button. Please do not subscribe to this channel. Let's not feed the social media machine, eh?